Hello students. Today it's the third lecture on C++. Okay, let's start. It's brief about myself. Mainly going to discuss function overloading, constructor and destructor. Overloading refers to the use of same thing for different purpose. As we have already discussed about the polymorphism, the function overloading is a compile time polymorphism. If we write it in this way, that polymorphism, compile time and runtime, compile, runtime, then we can see that in compile time polymorphism, function overloading and operator overloading types of compile time polymorphism, and runtime polymorphism is function overriding. I will discuss about it later, but today I am going to discuss about the function overloading, a compile time polymorphism. C++ also permits overloading of functions. I have told you that this means that we can use the same function name to create functions that perform a variety of different tasks. That means function name will remain same, but its definition can be changed. For example, if you want to write a function for calculating area of circle, for square, whatever, every time you have to give different name if you are doing the same thing in C, and also you have to remember the names. But here you can remember only the generic name, say for example area, and you can use the same name for different purpose, for calculating area of circle, area of square, whatever. Function overloading. Function overloading can be achieved, say for example function fnc1, you can give different number of argument. Say here we don't have any argument in this function fnc1. I am giving int fnc1, I am giving int. So all of these are function overloading. So you can achieve the function overloading using the different number of argument. Next, you can use different types of argument. Say f1 int, f1 char. See here, the number of argument is same, 1 and 1, but for first one I am using int and for second one I am using char. So using the different types of argument you can achieve the function overloading. And number 3, the number of argument and types of argument may remain same, but the order can be changed. For example, if f1 say int char, f1 char int. So see here the number of argument 2, types of argument integer character, but here the order is different. First time I have used int char and next time I am using character int. So using these conditions you can achieve the function overloading. Number 1, the different number of argument. Number 2, different types of argument. Number 3, maybe the number of argument and types of arguments are same, but the order will be different. So here I have given one example that see the F1 function first doesn't have any so for the first time this one will be called, second time this one will be called, for third time this one will be called. So you are actually using the same function name, but the definition can be changed according to the need. So this is the concept of function overloading. Constructor. Constructor is first think about a situation that you have written a class, say class A, and you have data like int I, j and public. You see this now, public f1 f2 void. So this is your class definition, private int ij and f1 f2. Now according to the condition you have to initialize every time the value of I, otherwise you cannot you can perform any function but it will be unnecessary. There will be no meaning for it. So every time, say for example, every time the I value will be set to 10, then you can perform any other functions on it. Now if every time, say I am using f1 function for initializing the value of I. So every time before doing anything, AOB, I am writing AOB and here OB dot F1. Before doing anything, say any function call will be made, but before it I have to call the F1 function for initializing the value of I. So this is basically the overhead for the programmer. Every time you have to remember, okay, I have to call the function F1 first for initialization, then I can do anything. To avoid this overhead, what we can do, we can use the concept of constructor. So let's see what is constructor. Constructor is a special type of function generally used for initialization values of instance variable objects of its class. And what is the properties of it? The same name of the class name. A special type of function having the same name as its class name, do not have any return type, not even void. Like other function, they have default argument, parameterized, and it is invoked. See this point very carefully. It is invoked automatically when objects are created and generally declared in public section. If it is declared in private section, I will discuss what kind of problem will be there. Okay, so types of constructor. There are mainly three types of constructor. One is default constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. I will discuss copy constructor after discussion of dynamic memory allocation. Just for today, I am going to discuss the default constructor and parameterized constructor. One thing, if we do not create any constructor in user defined class, then the compiler automatically insert a constructor, and this one is known as a system generated constructor or dummy constructor sometimes. Default constructor is constructor which doesn't take any argument. It has no parameter. and constructor with parameters known as parameterized constructor. See this example. So here we have a class A, and it has a private member like I and J, data member, display function, and see this one A, and consider this, see this. Here A class name same as the function name, doesn't have any return type, not even void. Now here we are writing A OB and OB dot display. See the output. Here we are getting I equals to 10, J equals to 20. How? Because constructor, I have already told you, constructor is invoked when the object is declared. And here when you are declaring the object AOB, that time automatically the constructor is invoked. That means when you are writing this one, that time automatically this one will be invoked, this one. So this is known as default constructor having no argument. But here we have some problem, because not problem, for every object it will take the same value. Say here if I am writing A OB1, so for OB1 the value of I and J will be same, 10 and 20. So if you want that the value of I and J will be different for different object, you don't have the flexibility for default constructor. You can have the flexibility for parameterized constructor. See this example. Here I have this one. You are sending the parameters, and you can do this using the explicit call or implicit call. If you are writing AOB equals to A23 67 whatever, so for the object OB you are getting the value 2367, and so for object OB1 you are getting the value these and these. This one is known as parameterized constructor. And next, as the function overloading is possible, I have told that the function overloading is possible. So as the constructor is a special type of function, constructor overloading is also possible, isn't it? So just like other member function, the constructor can also be overloaded by having different number of parameter, having different types of parameter, having same number, same types of parameter, but the order will be different. Here like this, the order will be different. And remember one thing, if you define any constructor explicitly, that time compiler will not provide default constructor, and you will have to define it yourself. Say for example, suppose this is a example of constructor overloading. First one is default constructor, second one is parameterized constructor, third one is parameterized constructor. And see here, if you are writing AOB, this one will be called. Here having one argument, this one will be called. Two arguments, this one will be called. Now one thing, say you don't have this, So the default constructor is not there, and you are writing the same thing. What happened? You will get an error because of writing AOB, first part AOB. Why? If you don't have any constructor written by the user, that time the system will generate it. But if you have at least one of them, the system will not give you. So that time you will get an error for this. Mind it, when you are using writing any constructor, that time the system will not provide the default constructor or the dummy constructor. Okay, the second thing is the destructor. As constructor construct and initialize the values, and destructor destroys. From name you can understand it. Destructor is a special type of function like constructor. Destroy the object as soon as the scope of object ends. And also like constructor, the destructor also called automatically. But it cannot be overloaded. See these points. It cannot be overloaded like constructor. Like constructor, it doesn't have any return type, but it cannot take any argument also. The concept is, when you are destroying anything, there is only one way. You are just destroying it. No need to specify the way of it. Say if you want to destroy a building, either you can destroy a building, you can set fire on it, you can use bulldozer to destroy it, whatever it is, the main aim is to destroy it. So for considering this concept, we can say that destructor, there is no way is not given to it. There is only one way to destroy a object. See this one. As a constructor is written in this way, so to make the compiler understand about the destructor, a tilde operator is used. See, the tilde operator is used before the function name and destructor. Now see, AOB 15. So for first AOB, the default constructor will be called, and for the second one, parameterized constructor will be called, and then 2 times destructor is called here. So there is only, whatever it will be created by default constructor or parameterized constructor, whatever it is, it can be destroyed by a single destructor. Okay, so thanks for today. If you have any question, you can write it in comment box. Okay, bye.